Hi guys, welcome to the step 3 hit video. This is for the traditional and alternative step project. Before we get started, make sure that you're writing everything in complete and full sentences, and if you need to show any work, make sure you're showing that. But yeah, just make sure every answer of yours is in a complete sentence format. First of all, before you get started with the traditional step project, make sure you're reading the objectives and needed items. So you're going to need 3 days of meals, and you need to report all of the food consumed for all 3 of these days. And if you're cooking, make sure you're reporting ingredients and measurements. So let's say you're making a soup. Uh, yeah, you're gonna say there's 3 cups of this soup, and in this soup is 2 cups water, 3 cups chicken, 3 chicken bouillon cubes, etc., etc. So make sure that you're writing exactly what you're putting in there if you're cooking it yourself. Don't recommend writing anything in slices or pieces because every single slice and piece might have a different thickness and weight to it. So if you're able to make sure you're doing it precise measurements. And then make sure that you have your government or your student ID with you when photographing your meal, sorry. So in this traditional step, for the first day and for all 3 days, make sure that you're including the day of the week. So if it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc., write out the calendar date. So, like for example, February 2nd, 2026. Um, what trends did you notice? So, an example would be like some sort of what's it called? Some sort of ideas for you guys would be the amount of food consumed. Was it shocking or not? And do you eat more during like certain times of day? So, do you eat more during breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Um, and how did you feel as you consumed these foods? So, for example, let's say that you didn't eat as much, so you can write, I felt unfulfilled for my meal because I was in a rush and couldn't eat more. Day two, same thing as day one. Do all of your date and the day of the week, and then did you consume considerably more or less yesterday? Basically, just compare the calories from day 1 and 2 and answer this question. And then for the chart, make sure that you're filling out the chart daily and you're not leaving out for the last day because you want it to be very accurate. And if you leave it for the last day, it could be very confusing.
Now we will be going over step 3 for the alternate project. One of our goals for this course is to help you achieve scientific literacy, which is why for step 3, we want you to explain in detail why the articles you chose for step 2 are scientifically valid sources. You should explain in detail with 3 to 5 sentences per source. Here are some tips for success when making sure your sources are scientifically valid. You should check the credentials. Is the author a doctor, a researcher, or a health professional? Explain how their backgrounds help the validity of your chosen sources. Where was it published? Was it published by a peer-reviewed journal or a trusted health organization such as the CDC or the WHO? Mention this in your explanation. You should analyze the source. Does the article include data, studies, or references to research? You can use this information to show how the research supports your evidence within your explanation. Is the article biased? Is it based on facts? Are they trying to sell you something or promote anything? Trustworthy sources should try to inform you, not persuade you, so it's important to keep that in mind when picking a source. When was the source published? Check the publication date. It's best to use sources published within the last 5 years as they are the most up-to-date. And within your explanations, you should use your own words. Try explaining the topics with your own words based on what you learned. This will truly show your understanding of the topic instead of just copying what the article says. We hope these tips were helpful in helping you complete your STEP project. Thank you for watching.